Hello everyone, it's Noodle here. So I finally decided, or finally managed to convince myself to make an actual digital art tutorial. We're using paint tools. I hear it's actually the only painting software that I'm used to. I use Photoshop from time to time, but I'm not really good at it. Anyway, I'm gonna show you some cool stuff, some tips and tricks in general. So, anyway, here's my, this is my usual sketching tool. It's the pen tool. Take a look at the settings here. If you really want, oh my god, I'm sorry if I'm stammering. I didn't really write a script for this. I'm just doing this as I go, and I'm really bad at this. So anyway, just copy this and, whatever. My stabilizer is set to 10. Now for you guys who don't know what the stabilizer is for, let me just demonstrate. As you can see, I'm doing really fast strokes here with the stabilizer set to 0, and it follows. If I do a really slow stroke here, as you can see, it's really unstable and shaky, but if I set it to a considerably high number, it becomes more stable. The higher it is, the more stable your line will be. But I'm not used to it, so I'm just gonna set it back to 10. Now, I usually start drawing, like my previous tutorial, we're gonna start with a circle. Then a cross, that's for the face. And then we're just gonna add the jaw. It's okay if it's a little edgy. We're just gonna fix it later, since we'll be doing a cleanup layer as well. I guess we can draw a link this time. Oh, one more thing. I like to do this, I create a new layer and that's where I draw the face, so in case that I need to adjust anything, I don't have to erase or draw over what other parts, the other parts. Now, if you don't want to draw the other eye, I know this is a common artist problem. Trying to draw the other eye, it starts looking rather off. So what you can do here in Paint Tool size, let's just delete the other eye for now. Alright. So we made an eye for a separate in a separate layer. What we're gonna do is to duplicate this layer. Just click on layer, go to layer, and copy. And then click on this selection thingy and flip horizontally. And then just move it a bit. Voila! You got a clone eye. But perfectly symmetrical eyes are usually bad to look at, so it is recommended that you edit it a bit, just so that it'll look a little different. Oh wait, no, Link doesn't have that much eyelashes. Oh, whatever. There we go. Now add nose. And the mouth. If you like, you can actually draw the hair in a different layer as well. This is the hair layer. No, that's not how Link's hair works. Nope, that's not how Link's hair works. Nope. And I guess Link's eyes are a little different. It's actually sharp. So I'll just edit it a bit. There we go. Starting to look like an elf. Oh wait, speaking of which, it needs to be an elf. So the ears need to be pointy. Man, I'm really inaccurate. One thing to avoid is that if you're not into anime, or actually even if you're into anime, one thing to avoid is that those really sharp chins. Like you could kill somebody with those. So try to avoid that. Try to make it a little more blunt like this. Well, let's get back to the hair layer. So, there we go. Now you must have noticed his hair is looking a little off. That's because Link is wearing a hat. So, we'll just add his hat here. Now you can stylize it however you like. And there we go. You can adjust it if you're not satisfied. But once you're satisfied with what you have, just merge all the layers. And there we go. We got a rough sketch of Link's face. Now for the cleanup. I like to use the pen tool again, but this one's a separate one. Here's my settings for my cleanup layer, for my cleanup tool. Basically, the density is at 100%. This one's density is much lower. Anyway, create a new layer for your new cleanup layer. That's really redundant. Sorry, I'm just really not feeling it today. And then, all right, but we can start now. You can lower the opacity of the previous layer just so you won't be confused. Now it looks a little off, so what I like to do is to set the minimum size to somewhere about, I guess, 15. Now the difference would be I'm just gonna let it speak to it for itself. So this line is for 15, and if I watch it and if I set it to 0, it's gonna be much sharper. The end is gonna be much more sharper. And there are certain scenarios that I just don't like sharp lines. Darn it. Okay, that's not doing so good. Let's set it higher.